love friends, Kao here, and I know at this point we are well into 2025 now, but I finally have some free time to finish my 2024 Pokemon card collection tour video. Similar to my 2023 video, I'll be walking y'all through all of my Pokemon card collection, or rather most of it. I won't be highlighting all of the bulk that I have, only things that I specifically pull out for certain like favorites, specific themed binders, things like that. And I'm not going to be showcasing anything that is currently in a deck. So there are other cards that I love that are currently in decks or being played, but we're not going to look at those today. We're going to focus on cards that I have on display, as well as what all is in my growing collection of binders. Now, this is going to be a long video. There's a lot of stuff to cover. I'm going to try to focus more on the things that are new, and so if there's something you see that I don't really spend a lot of time on that binder page or anything, I probably already covered it in my 2023 collection tour video. So if you want a better look at anything I don't really like highlight here, you can always check out that video or leave a comment and I can try to post some more photos and things on social media to share as well. This video will be broken into a couple different categories just to make it a little bit easier to digest. There will also be timestamps in the description below if you want to jump to a specific thing you want to check out. I'll have everything labeled in the description. A couple of quick notes that I think I covered in my 2023 video as well. I am a more recent collector. I started collecting more with Paldea Evolved again after having not collected Pokemon cards since I was a child, and I've slowly been building more of like a base jungle fossil set collection to kind of rebuild those memories. But most of the stuff you'll see are probably more newer cards. I do love to look through like older bulk for just favorite Pokemon, favorite art. There's all kinds of fun stuff that I haven't seen personally, so you might see some of that, especially in like my favorites binder. There's probably a lot of just random bulk cards that might not otherwise be highlighted in this kind of video for other collectors, but I really love collecting for my favorite Pokemon and my favorite art and my favorite artists, so I'm excited to share that with y'all. This isn't like a big fancy graded collection or anything like that, so just to set expectations a little bit before we dive in. Alright, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into our first category. First up, we have cards that I like to keep on display in my little studio space. So on the left here, this stack are ones that I featured in my 2023 video, and they're still on display. We've got the Pikachu with gray felt hat, our Japanese Fossil Gengar Hollow, and of course the Gengar VMAX alt art. And before anyone asks, yes, I am aware of how much this keeps going up, but I have no interest in selling it because I love Gengar and I love this art. It's so good. And next, we've got a stack that I recently added in 2024. So I picked up a few tag team cards and added them to my little Pokemon plushie shelf. We've got Gengar in Mimikyu, and then two of my favorite birds. We've got Piplup and Blastoise. Blastoise not being the bird, the next card. Blastoise and Piplup tag team. I love this one. It's so cute. It's me and my partner's favorite Pokemon, so had to pick that one up, obviously. And then we've got Rowlet and Alolan Executor. I also have the other, I guess that one is the alt art that has just like the really tall Alolan Executor and you can barely see the Rowlet, but I love Rowlet, so this is the one that I have on display. And then I mentioned that I don't really collect graded cards, but I do have one. So this is the Pokemon Snap Pikachu, the Black Star promo. graded at an 8. Like I said, I'm not really big into graded cards, but I actually won this at a Pokemon event at Summer Games Done Quick last year, and I also love Pokemon Snap, so this is just like, if there's gonna be one, I think this is a good one to have. Next up, we've got my Pokeball binder. This mostly contains like full arts, EX Pokemon, V Pokemon, some various promos, some shiny Pokemon. It's kind of like a smattering of more like modern cards. So the first page here, we've got kind of just like cards I like to look at when I first open this. So I've talked about this before, but my first like big pull was this Iono, and so even though I do technically have a food binder and I'm debating moving it, it has maintained its hold as the first slot because it's just kind of like, oh, this is what got me back into collecting. Then we've got, and I've covered some of the things on this page in my 2023 video, so I won't go super in depth, but we've got like my Charizard and Shining Mewtwo from my childhood collection, my Master Ball Machamp, which is just a fun one. We've got the Route evolution line for Pidgey, and then these two slots are new for 2024, so we've got our Gold Beach Court. I have been trying to put Beach Court in every deck that I play, even though it's not always the optimal play, but I love Beach Court, and I really just love the little Flamigo down here at the bottom. He's just saying hi, what's up? So I have this here just because I like it. Like, that's the whole point of all this, right? It's just cards I like. And then I've also got this one here, which is our Ancient Mew. Always hard to show with the glare when they're sleeved up, but this card is so cool, and I did not have it as a kid, and I'm so glad that I have it now, because, yeah, I loved that it was even a thing. I love the Pokemon movies, and yeah, awesome addition for 2024. I will say, I think the cut might be a little off on it, because it does not fit in a perfect fit sleeve, which is what I have most everything sleeved in. Next, I still keep this page blank. I don't really know why. I don't know. I'll figure out something to put there eventually. But on this side, we've got all the Scarlet Violet starters. I love these full arts. They're so pretty. Kind of try to get a little closer look here. I've had everything but the Crocalor in, there we go. I had everything but the Crocalor last year, so glad I was able to add this one to my collection. He's just a little menace in the grocery store. This line is such, like, this whole series for the starters is so cool, and I love that it's like a continuous story for each of them. It's one of, like, my favorite, like, more recent illustration, like, series, I guess? I don't know. They're cool. Alright, next we go into a bunch of illustration rares from Scarlet Violet era. So, I think this section I had pretty much all of these before. I was missing the Kirlia. So, I've got the Ralts and the Kirlia that also tell a little story. The Gardevoir is still very expensive. It is used in a lot of decks currently, so one day I'll pick it up when it goes down a little bit, so I can finish out the family storytelling time. Also got, you know, our classic friends here. I'm gonna kind of move this around a bit, because fighting glare when trying to film this is the hardest part of filming these videos. But we've got our boy Cloth, shout out to Cloth. We've got a couple Koraidon cards, which technically that one is the EX, but I like having them next to each other. And then we've got our Sudowoodo trying to be a tree, the really like interesting artibacks. I love this Tropius art so much. Then on the other side, we've got our Steelix, Swablu blending in with the Wingles, Mantike, our very funny Charmander promo, the very drunk Lechonk, Bari Giraffe, that one's a little hard to say. And then we've got Pondering the Orb with Bellybolt up top, Varoom, and Palafin, which, if you've watched my videos, you know how I feel about Palafin, but he does get a spot in the binder still. And then this is the area where I think has probably seen the most growth. I've picked up a lot of illustration rares over the last year. So I think I only ended here after the Screamtail last time. So we've got a lot of new additions. We've got our pal Snom. Picked up a Japanese one. And then we've got our pals, oh crap, I have to remember the names of them in English. What is it, Deerling and Sawsbuck? Sorry, I'm a fake fan, just kidding. Yeah, I love this connecting art. It is so pretty. It was a little easier to pick up in Japanese, thanks to a friend who was able to give me a little trade to finish these two out. And I finally have a little connection. It's so pretty. I really love this one. Or I guess these two. And we've got our little pal Pinsir down here. A Palmy, full family. I think this is much more recent. And then our Snow Runt. I did do a little rearranging, but I feel like binders constantly get rearranged, so... Not gonna point out all of them, but yeah, we've got our Meltan. I really like this Arbok art. I love Toucanon, and it's got a Toucanon, even though he might be in trouble. I still love this art. It's really cool. The moon in the background, the like cutaway through the trees. It's super cool. We've got Wattrel, a Charjabug. He's going camping, which I love. I love to see a Pokemon just like doing mundane things. Like he's their little charger for all the electronics while they're camping, and we love that. The Teal Mask Ogerpon promo. We've got our Infernape and our Zeraora. And then the Pecharunt promo as well. And then we keep going. Like I said, this is the area that's probably grown the most. So we've got our cute little Q font up here. Another Pinsir, I just noticed. I have a duplicate, interesting. And then we've got our Noctowl promo, our Applin, which you'll see a lot more Applin in a nether binder, but I have two of these because I stopped tracking. I forgot to like log one in my tracking app, so I accidentally bought it again. But that's okay, because then he just gets placed in two different binders, and that's fine because I love Applin. Then we've got a Spheal here, rolling into the sea, as they do. My favorite one, though, is, like, this one creeping in the corner. And then Apom is also featured in another binder as well, because I now have a whole binder just for my Yukimori collection. We've got the Pheasantipity down here, the Larvitar. I adore this Kecleon art. It is so fun and so stylized. It's really like simple coloring, but it's done so well, and I love the like transparency work they did. So like if you look at this one, it's so hard to show. You can kind of see the plants behind him, like in the body, and same like so so hard to get a good look. Same with this one, you can see the tree behind him. So I just think that's such a really cool effect and a really neat way to do it with such simple coloring and stylization. And then on this page, we've got some of the like promos that they came out with for Greninja EX and Kingdra EX along with their line. I put these here because they have the little galaxy or the sparkly, oh my gosh. Glare, there we go. The sparkly border. So I wanted to keep them together even though these are technically not promos. And then I've got a blank space down here. I have yet to pick up the King Gambit one, so I need to add that at some point. But both of these are really sick. I think they're really some really gorgeous pieces of art that you could just get in the EX boxes, which was really nice. I do wish they had a little bit more playability, but that's okay, because we also love to just look at the art and admire it, so. And I'll put take out the Greninja as well. Very cool. And then we've got a few more. I didn't want to move those because it's like, it's kind of a pain to move things all the time. So we just broke up that spot and then come back to more illustration rares. So we've got a few little friends here. We've got the Raboot and the Carbonal, keeping with the snow theme at the top there. We've got Chimecho, which is a really cute card. The Turtonator hiding out from the rain, Timber working a job, we got Ledian, Joltik, this wonderful Magneton promo, and then the kind of creepy little mushroom guy down there at the bottom. And then we save a few blank pages for even more illustration rares from Scarlet Violet. But now we go ahead and start getting back into Sword and Shield era. So this is kind of my like little Hisuian Legends Arceus kind of section. So I'm sure this will eventually like grow. I'd love to pick up even more like bulk cards like these two. But some of my favorites over here are the Weirdeer. And Legends Arceus is actually one of my like more recent favorite games. It was really fun, and I enjoyed it a lot. I'm really curious to see what they would do with the next one, ZA. Of course, we've got the Sleeping Pikachu. I've always got to call out the Parasect, because if you've played the game, you know that this guy is a menace to society. And I like that he's captured on the card, and I especially like that there's like this other one in the background who's like pickpocketing this guy, or maybe like warning him like, you better watch out because there's an alpha over there. I don't know, but it's very funny. We've got our Cleavor and our Spiritomb as well, and I also have a duplicate Spiritomb, of course, for the Ghosty binder I'll show later. And then we've got like Adaman, Friends in Hisui, Arezu, Enamorus, Iskin. And then these are two bulk cards. This one's a little more obvious because it's Jubilife Village. I'd love to go through the sets that these like covered Legends Arceus stuff in and get more bulk cards, because there are some like this little Bergmite here. So I don't know if you remember from the game, there's actually a quest involving a Bergmite, a little side quest. So this is actually from the Pearl Clan village. So I think this is really cool. I love when cards have like little stories like this, little hints and nods to the games. So hoping to add more things, because like I said, I love Legends Arceus. Would love to keep getting more cards like this. And then we go into like more of like trainer gallery kind of stuff. So we've got our Charizard, Braixen, Flaffy, Excadrill, Chandelure, which I also have another copy of for Ghost Binder, Zekrom, Magnemite, and Galarian Obstagoon. And I'm gonna take this one out. I love the Magnemite here because, like, watching the anime Lieutenant Surge, he's just kind of like, seems like such a hard ass, right? And then he's got like, he's working hard to make this little Magnemite so happy. It's very cute. They're all happy. This one up here is too, yeah, adorable. I hope that they do more of this style as well in the future. And then we go into more of like Sword and Shield era illustration rares. So we've got our Dunsparce, our Manaphy, which this is, surprised this is still in here because it was being used in a lot of decks. Maybe I put it back. Lapras, we've got a Galarian Zapdos, Toxtricity, Deoxys, and an Absol. Absolutely lovely. And then we go into more Sword and Shield stuff, and then kind of go transitioning into the, oh my gosh, trainer cards. Supporter cards, goodness, can't think of words. I love that they did this series of the signatures on these cards. It really adds a like really fun element to what are otherwise kind of like just like common cards. You might be tempted to go more of the like full art route, but I love that they did these. I forget which ones I had in 2023, but I don't think I had quite as many. So we've got like the little Marnie. This one was a promo card. We've got Nessa, Leon, B, Beady, Bede, however you want to say it. I know there's like people arguing about the pronunciations all the time. Hop, Raihan. Looking very ominous with his Flygon. No. And then I've got like Kabu, my least favorite ball guy, but I figured like finish the Sword and Shield era over there. And then we go into some more trainer cards. So we've got like Parasol Lady, we've got our Cynthia's Ambition, Florence some Ruins, our Bird Keeper, which if you don't know, I love bird Pokemon, so I think this is a really cute card. Then we've got our 06 Machinations. That's a hard one to say. Our Judge. And then we go into some more trainer cards. Alright, next we've got more of like Scarlet Violet trainer cards. So we've got this really hilarious one. On the left here, I kind of try to make this side like more of school related, like the academy related. So we start with Clive, definitely a legitimate student. We've got Nimona, Paldean Student, and Miriam. And then on the right here, we go into more of like the gym leaders and the oh crap, what is it called? The version of the Elite Four. Are they just Elite Four? I forget. It's easy to forget when you're trying to like go through a million different things. But I love this Tulip card. She's looking very stylish. We got Rhyme, which this was a really fun fight. I really enjoyed this one. Tofu, Poppy, Gita, and of course we gotta have Rika. with the ice cream, the sea salt ice cream. I love this art, it's so fun. And then on the next page, we go into the start of more of like the DLC characters. So I only have these two right now. So we've got Kieran, and then Drayton. And if you watched my 2023 video, you may have noticed that some things that were in there are no longer in this binder, and that's probably because they've just been moved to another binder. I don't really sell or anything because I just like to collect for me and what cards I like. But I do have a food binder now, so there's another Drayton card, I believe, that's in there, and there's a couple other trainers and other cards that I've moved there. I've got to go through a lot of other stuff and just keep moving things to that binder, but I'll show that later. Alright, next up we've got a little section that's some like various promo cards and kind of just like an assortment of like stamped cards and things like that. So I showed the Bird Trio GX card that I have over here last time. We've also got this Flareon EX. This card is pretty damaged. I don't know how well you can tell on the camera, maybe like from the different angles. It is a pretty damaged card, but I think it's really cute, and it's one that I don't really see very often, so I decided to pick it up anyway. And then, you already saw my other tag team cards, but we've also got this Rowlet and Alolan Executor GX. I think this one is so funny. I wouldn't have even realized there was a Rowlet on here for the longest time if it wasn't like called out. So if you're not sure, he's hanging out right there. Because it almost looks like a coconut or something. But yeah, this is the last of the tag team cards I have, and he's not on display, but it's really cute still. Then we've got the Detective Pikachu promo that was released with the game in Japan. I wound up ordering this on eBay because I just adore this artwork, and I really enjoyed the game. I thought it was cute. It was a little fun little romp. Not super difficult or anything, but I don't know. I enjoyed the different Pokemon and their different personalities, and the Growlithe being one of them, of course. I love Growlithe. So, very glad I was able to pick this up since it was only released in Japan. And then we've got our little shiny Smoliv. I don't know why he's here. I think I just ran out of places to put shinies. But then at the bottom here, we've got our illustration contest winners from 2022. We've got the Bulbasaur, the Arcanine, and the Greninja. And I actually also just picked up the 2024 winner cards as well. I'm really excited to add those. I guess I might need to move some things around to have them in here too, but I always love them. I'm hoping the next illustration contest they do, I will have the time and energy to actually participate. The last one came at kind of a bad time where I just really didn't have time to focus on art, so hopefully the next one will work out a little better timing-wise. I'd love to submit some pieces. But next we've got our Oddish promo. This was from the little TCG animation that they did. And then kind of a little bit more random things here, more stamped stuff. So we've got our little McDonald's stamped Dwebble with this really fun hollow pattern. I love Dwebble. I'm actually scared of any kind of like insect, bug, crab in real life, but I think Dwebble is really cute. And it was actually the first shiny Pokemon that I caught. And then we've got our Pokemon Day Ceruledge. And I'll need to make some space to put this year's Pokemon Day promo in here as well. And then we've got some more random stuff here. We've got like a Tinkaton promo. Sometimes I get promos that like don't really fit in with my binders anywhere else. So they just kind of like find a place somewhere. And same with this Wooper, but I do love this Wooper art. It's super cute. Adorable. And then we've got our regional championships stamped, Explorer's Guidance. I don't know how well it'll focus on the stamp there. This card is so shiny, it's like, oh, I don't know what to do. But I got this for participating in the LA Pokemon Regional in 2024, which I have a whole other video about that I can link if you do want to check that out. And then last, there's just like this random Forretress down here. I don't know why. I think I just don't know what to do with him. I need to figure out a good system for cards that I just like the art, but they don't really fit into any of my themed binders. Because I just think this is fun art. It's got a neat, like, water background. Like the waterfall effect is like very simple, but it's fun, and it kind of works well with the like line art style of the Forretress. But yeah, I just think this is neat. I just think he's neat. And then next we have some more shiny Pokemon over here, and some of my gold cards. I like to have these here just because I don't have a lot of them, and these are all things that I pull. Like, I don't really go out of my way to purchase gold cards unless I'm trying to complete like 151, for example. But yeah, so this is just like, it's so fun to pull. I wanted to highlight them somewhere, and I feel like they work well with the shiny Pokemon over here. And then we go into our V-Star and V Pokemon. This will get a lot more fleshed out because things have rotated now for the TCG. So I have a lot more V-Star and V Pokemon that I can start adding here, like my Hisuian Zoroarks, my beloved Giratina. I'll miss playing that deck even if it was really difficult to play. But yeah, and then I've pulled this one. I talked about it last time. I pulled this one in a video, so that's always a fun time. Then we get into our EX Pokemon. So we start with our full art EX ones. So there's not a ton here. I think I've had most of these in 2023. Maybe not. Actually, I think most of these are a little newer. Anyway, I think my favorites are really like the Cinderace. The Rainbow Cinderace is really fun. And then we've got the Blood Moon Ursaluna EX. I love the red background. It works really well on this one. I've got a couple of these Squawkabilly EXs in decks as well. And then there's two Pokemon I hate here. I don't like Earthworm or Toedscruel, but they still get a place in the binder for now, unless I like run out of room and am refusing to get another binder. I don't know. And then we've got a few more over here. I really love this Munkidori, actually. Like, I'm not a big fan of... Oh, hello. The doggo has come to visit. I'm not a big fan of Munkidori as a Pokemon, but I really think that this background and like the pose is super effective. I think this works really well to really highlight it. And it's also funny, I didn't notice the ability is "Oh no you don't." With that look, like, yeah, it makes sense. And I will admit that as much as I don't like Palafin, I think the background on this one too kind of goes well with the superhero theme. Alright, so this goes into our EX cards, and I have a lot more EX cards than last time. I'm not gonna go through everything because there's just a lot, but I like to put these in here unless they're going into a deck because I do think that they have some interesting art, and I like the way they pop out of the frame, so I think they're fun to look at. Try to get like a little bit of everybody in the view. Of course I love cloth. That's probably my favorite one in here. And I think I actually used that one for product photos for my cloth sticker. Because, yeah, cloth is great. And then we have some more. Like I said, this has grown quite a bit here. So, I don't play any Charizard decks. And neither does my partner, so he kind of lives in here. And we already have, like, a ton of Gardevoir EXs as well. We've got the Play Pokemon Stamp Charizard EX as well, and the Noivern, and Toedscruel. Those are fun to add if they're not going to be used in anything. I do really like the Screamtail and the Mad Cargo. I think they both are making such great faces. And that Earthworm made me realize that it can punch, and that was scary, so don't really like that one. And then wrapping up with a few more EX cards, we've got the Terapagos EX. We do have a Terapagos deck that we're kind of working through. Alolan Executor as well. I think I have another copy that was in my, what is the name? I'm blanking on his name. Regidrago, yeah. My Regidrago deck had another one in there. And another duplicate for the Ghost Binder with Cofagrius. Yeah, that is all that's in this binder, other than at the very back, I do have a couple of, like, those little cards that that sometimes come with promos. So I've got, like, a Horizons one. I actually think this came with the Oddish promo. The Van Gogh one obviously came with the Pikachu with the gray felt hat. And then this is for Pachama or Piplup. So I have a specific, the Project Piplup or Project Pachama card that will be in another binder I'll show in a minute. Next up, we have the Ghost Binder. So if you saw my 2023 video, this was a mix of Ghost Pokemon and like other favorites, but now this is strictly Ghosts because there's a lot of ghosts, y'all. So other favorite Pokemon will be in another binder that I'll show, but this is all ghosty, friends. We start off with the Chandelure evolution line, which is of course one of my favorite Pokemon. This page is actually the same as 2023. I have yet to pick up the elusive Lampent from Obsidian Flames. I really should just go through some bulk or like maybe just pick one up at my local store because it looks so empty. And then we have a lot more Chandelure cards compared to last time as well. So there were some that came out with Twilight Masquerade, including this little cutie. I love this Litwick. It's so cute, and I love that it's in the area of, the DLC area. We'll go with that. I'm blanking on the name. But it's also the reverse holo. I also love the like painterly style for the Lampent from this one. And you'll notice that there's a lot of bulk that gets featured in my binders because I just think the art is neat, or even just like the Pokemon. So you'll see some like random things that aren't worth really anything. They're nice and easy to pick up, which is nice, but they're just things I like this little Litwick. I don't really know what's going on with the background in this card. I guess it's supposed to be a cave. We're not going to question it. We're just going to focus on the Litwick. But I've been trying to go through some more, like, vintage, not vintage, but, like, older sets. trying to find like just Pokemon and art I like. Like we've got this chandelier. Wow. Chandelure. This is just a really neat effect on this one, and this is actually a Kamiya art as well. But I love the colors, and it's just really fun. And then we've got another fun Chandelure. Another, like, really fun colors. I love when there's just, like, you could make a ton of Chandelure cards that are just, like, dark and creepy. So it's fun to see, like, the different styles. I think I had most of what's on the left side. We've got our VMAX. I don't know if I had the rainbow one for 2023's video, but it's a fun one. Oh, so looking forward to getting more older Chandelure Evolution line cards to add in here. Then we go into the Gengar line. So this has grown a lot as well. So there's a lot of Halloween stamped cards that you'll see here. It seems like they're always featuring Gengar for the Halloween set, which I'm not complaining about. We've got our little e-reader cards down here at the bottom. And then this one is a new addition for me, which is Sabrina's Haunter. I really like this, like, very old school art. He just is really funny looking. I like him. It makes me think of the anime Haunter that goes with Sabrina. And we also have the Sabrina's Gengar with the full moon that I shared last time. And I go into even more Gengars. There's so many now. So we've got the Gengar V and VMAX, and I shared the alt art for the VMAX in my cards on display. Then we've got our Gengar EX. We've got some new Ghastlies down here. He's just a happy little guy. Happy little gas bubble. And I really love this one. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's the purples blending kind of with the background purple, like for the card art itself, card background itself, but I don't know. I really like this one. It's very soft feeling. We've got our mischievous little Gengar here. I can't remember if this one was in the 2023 video, but we'll show him again. Looking like he's up to no good. Of course, we've got our Ghastly full art, the Ghost Parade. I love this art so much. And this was featured in one of my videos as well. Was so happy to pull this. Always a good feeling when you get a chase card from your pulls. We've got some other older ones here. Try to get the glare off of them. And then we've got, I believe this was a McDonald's promo based on the hollow effect. But I really like, Ghastly's just such a funny little face. And then this card, I actually didn't know too much about it when I got it. This is from the vending machine series in Japan. So these cards actually have like a different print quality to them. They feel fake, but they're not. And looking into this, I actually really love the art from this set. Well, it's like a couple like sets, I guess. The vending series, but I kind of want to collect the rest of the vending series. They're a little hard to find. Don't see them too often. I actually found this at a Pokemon event from a vendor there, but yeah, I think I might look into getting some more vending machine series. because there's just really fun art. And also, this was featured in Pocket, this art. So it was really cool to see there. And then we've got the most recent, I believe, line from, oh gosh. What is the set name? Temporal Forces? Something like that. Okay. I can't keep track of all of them. And then we've got the most recent line down here. So as you can see, we have one slot left. So we're gonna have to move some things around because there's always more Gengar line cards. Then we go into Mimikyu. So I've picked up some more Mimikyu cards. This had to be expanded out a little bit. We of course have the promo that was released for Paldean Fates. Very cute. I opened this up one of my videos. And I also picked up, I already had the Mimikyu V, so I had to pick up the adorable little Mimikyu as well. Getting stitched up. We've got our shiny Mimikyu, and we've got a little scared Mimikyu over here. I don't know how well you can see that one. But I was really excited to find these two. Yes, this is a Pikachu card in the Mimikyu section, but they go together so well, so we've got Pikachu running into the Mimikyu. Very cute. And then, of course, the Mimikyu promo that comes right after it. Looking very pretty and adorable. And I just noticed there's the little moral back here. So I didn't want to split them up since they're so cute. And it's fun. I don't have very many fairy cards, so always love to get something that I don't have to add to the collection. Then we go into our T Pokemon. So with the introduction of Poltergeist and Sinistcha, had to add them here as well. There are some more cards, so this binder is always growing. I'm gonna need a second ghost binder, y'all. But and of course we've got our Sinistea and Poltergeist over here. I think there's only a couple of pickups that have changed from this. I would love to see more art featuring these Pokemon because I love them so much and they're just so stinking cute. And we've got the Halloween stamped ones, of course. Have a couple of those. But the Poltergeist and Sinistcha are all new, and there's another Sinistcha I don't have as well. But I do want to highlight the full art illustration rare for Poltergeist. And this tells a little story with the Sinistcha EX special illustration rare. Be perusing the memories. So I really love these two. I think this is a really cool storytelling combo. I love those kinds of cards, so very excited to add them and continue to grow the T army. And next we go into our puppy dog. We've got Greavard and Houndstone. This section's expanded a little bit. I've gotten some more. You can see like there's a couple of Halloween stamp cards. There's a couple just like reverse hollows in here. We now have the shiny doggies. So we've got our shiny Greavard here. Which I kind of wish they went with a different color than yellow for the shiny, but it is still cute. It's just like not a, I don't know. It looks a little yellowy. I guess the Houndstone kind of like mellows out the yellow though. So got the shiny Houndstone as well. It's got more of like brown. And then we also added another another Greavard down here. I just really like this art quite a bit. This is a Miki Tanaka one, which is super cute. It's just hanging out in the grass. Little cute puppy dog. And of course, we've got the illustration rare, which I love for Greavard, playing with a bunch of ghost toys. It's super cute. I really hope they come out with a special illustration rare for Houndstone, because I would love to add it to the collection. Then we go into Drifloon, the evolution line for Drifloon. So I don't actually have a ton of these. There's a lot more like older cards I would love to go pick up, because I love our little balloon. I did find this one, which is very cute and silly. We've got some of our Halloween stamped ones, and then we've got our shinies from Paldean Fates. Another yellow. They really love the yellow and the weird lime green for shiny Pokemon. Oh. And the Drifloon. Shiny as well. I do like the blue. I think that's cool. I guess it's almost like reversed color palette. And then let's see, we've got the more recent line for the Drifblim. This was from Stellar Crown, I believe, with Everyone Explode Now. Everyone's favorite attack. And of course, the Drifloon from the same set as well, which I think I talked about the art in another video when I probably pulled this, and I just think it's really neat. Alright, next we've got the Mischievous line. So I've picked up a couple of older cards. I think I shared most of this top section previously. We've also got a random Fluttermane in here because I thought it made sense to keep them together. So this is the promo. We've got some older pickups over here. So we've got this one, Flying Over the City, which I think is pretty cool. I also really like the face on this Miss Magius. I don't know, it's something about it. It's very, like, welcoming haunting. Like, yeah, you could come haunt my home, that's fine. Versus we've got, like, this one, which is very, very heavy line art on the outline, but I really like the stylization of this and the moon in the background. And then we've got our Mischievous as well. I love the pink. This one's completely opposite. It's like a no outline style, so very different. They are from different sets, of course, though. And then our very funny little 3D style Miss Magius. This art is a little dark, so it's a little hard to capture well, but it's a fun one. Looking a little more like grumpy face on that one. Next, we've got Pumpkaboo over here. So there haven't been a lot more Pumpkaboo cards, so I did pick up two older ones. So we've got this one, which is very like psychedelic feeling. Kind of fun. And then the Gourgeist as well. And it's cool because it's got like the, I forget what the tower name is, from X and Y. It's been a long while, but I think it's cool when there's like art featured, or locations featured in the artwork. So that's very cool, especially since this was their first game, so. Then on the right, we've got our Dreepy line. So this is, top part is the same as what I had previously. From Fusion Strike, and then I've got some more stuff, but it's currently in decks right now. So we've got our little white background full art Terra type Dragapult EX. That was a lot to say. We've got this one here because it's not in a deck right now, but I've got other versions of this evolution line. in a few decks. So when they eventually rotate or the deck isn't viable anymore, they'll go in here too. Then we've got Sableye and Spiritomb. So I don't think I really had very many Sableye cards previously. Just maybe like this one and this one maybe. So picked up a few more. I especially really love this artwork, the little gem thief. I think this is very cool, and I hadn't seen this style of X and Y promo before, or X and Y era card before, with like the ability at the top like that. So it was a neat pickup. We've also got our funny little Sableye V. This face is just really funny. It makes me think of like, I think he's supposed to be laughing, but I don't know. I feel like he's like been caught like, oops. I don't know. Oops, I dropped something. And then we've got another Sableye V here. Very different vibe. I like the stylized effect for the gems. It's really fun on that one. Then we've got a little sneaky Spiritomb down here because I ran out of room for Spiritomb cards. So he's just vibing on the sunset, you know? It's all good. He's not gonna do anything evil. Definitely not. And a bunch more Spiritomb cards. I think probably most of this has been featured before. I'll kind of hold it up so it's a little easier to see with the glare. We do have from Paldean Fates the shiny Spiritomb, which I love, the shiny version. Also picked up this really funny one. It's like he's like in motion, he's screaming, I guess. It's just very funny art. I really like this one. We've got a couple of Spiritombs in locations, so there's like ruins here, some more ruins here, and then we've got the one from Legends Arceus, which I have a duplicate of for my Arceus section as well. And then we've got this guy, this reverse holo. So I think this one is so cool. I really love this artwork, the stylization. I feel like the way the waves were done was really well done and like works really well with like Spiritomb's look. And it's cool to see the other like stones there too, kind of hiding in the background there. So very cool find. And then we get into some just other ghosts. So we've got Rotom, which I think I had these two previously, but we did pick up another older card, which is really cute. I really like this one. It's very cartoony and it's very adorable. The Rotom V is one of my favorites. I've shared it before, but I'll share it again. I just really like this art, and it's got all of the different equipment that he can go into, so it's a really nice touch. And then we've got Hisuian Zorua and Zoro arc. I talked about this before, but now that things have rotated, I can put my other Hisuian Zoroark Vs in here to go along with my gold one. I'll go ahead and pull this out again because I do think it's just cool. But I'll add the rest in here because things have rotated now, so that deck is no longer legal. As much as I wanted to make it work, it just did not. Then we go into the Duskull line here, so this is kind of fleshed out a bit more. I don't remember if I had this one previously, but the one with Morty, I really like this art. We've got our Halloween stamped ones here at the bottom and the top. I did pick up this older Duskull. I don't really know. It looks like he's got a headache or something. Like, it's just kind of funny. But I love the will-o-wisps. We've got another older Dusknoir as well, with a fun little hollow pattern. I don't know if you can really see it. Ugh. Fighting the glare. Story of my life. But he's going in for a punch, it looks like, which is very funny. And then we've got some empty space here because I want to continue this line. I've got the one Dusclops from the James Turner illustration rare series for this evolution line, which I love. These 3 cards were part of my chases for the Shrouded Fable, can't talk today, Shrouded Fable, and I did manage to find this Dusclops at a decent price, because these are still used in a lot of decks. They're just a little too pricey to really pick up right now. I'm hoping they go down at some point so I can get the Duskull and the Dusknoir to complete the set. Then we have Phantump here. There's a lot of duplicates in here because of the Halloween sets. Kind of just reuse the same art and everything. I don't think anything over here is new, but I do have these from, what is this, Twilight Masquerade. So I really like this little Phantump. It's very cute. He's got his stump. It almost looks like he's in love with the stump, and I love that for him. And then we've got the Trevenant from the same set, with the sign in front and the big tree in the background, which I believe this is where you find it in the DLC for Scarlet Violet. It looks like a similar location. It's been a little bit since I played the DLC, but I'm pretty sure. Continuing with more ghosts, of course, we've got the Shuppet line, if you can see past the glare, and the Sandy Gas line. So I did pick up this Bayonet, which is very, like, creepy circus vibes Bayonet, which I don't usually like, but I like Bayonet, so I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Of course, we've got our e-reader Shuppet, one of my favorites. It's just so funny. It looks like he's taking a selfie, or somebody was trying to take a picture of him and they got this. We've got our Halloween cards there, and then we've got our Sandy Gas line over here. So we've got the illustration rare for Sandy Gas on the children's playground, which is kind of hilarious because that is not where you would want that guy. We've got a little friend here, the Asako Ito Twilight Masquerade art. I love these little, like, crochet ones. I do have this in a binder with a whole bunch of them, so I do want to get a lot more of her art later on as well, but since I had a duplicate, it goes in the ghost binder. I also really love this Sandy Gas. I don't remember if I had it in 2023, but it's just so funny. He's, like, excited about this pail of sand that he found. Like, maybe he thinks it's another Sandy Gas. And then we've got our Palossand EX, which I think is really fun. Love the rainbow border. Very cool. And then we got some Galarian Cursula and Hisuian Typhlosion over here, just kind of getting into more like cards that I don't have a lot of. I think I've shared some of these previously. I really like this Galarian Cursula V with the like blue, green, yellow, orange background. Very pretty. We've got Bramblin over here and Bramblegast, which I love these little tumbleweeds. They're so funny. We've got Bramblin illustration rare. I love this one. It's so silly. There's so many of them in this art. I have not counted, but it would be kind of fun to sit down and just like count how many Bramblins you can find. And then we've got a Bramblegasts. I really like this one. Feels very Halloween-y, like almost like a jack-o'-lantern. Yeah, these ones are super cute. Trying to leave some space for more of them. Then we go into the swords line over here, our fun little steel friends over here. So we've got some Hone Edge, and Doublades, and Aegislash. I do need to get the Aegislash special illustration rare as well. But I did find this older one, which I think this is really cool. It almost looks like he's like destroying the city, which I think is fun. I think that's pretty fun. Sometimes, you know, we all get in the mood. And then we've got Gimmighoul over here, along with Goldengo. There's not a lot of these cards yet, so it'll be interesting to see how many more there will be, like what the art will look like in the future. I would love to pick up the combined illustration of Gimmighoul and Goldengo at some point. A little pricey. And then we just go into a smattering of ghosts, if you will. So I'm just gonna kind of go through these like this because it's just a little bit easier to see. But we've got Yamask, Cofagrius, the Galarian Runerigus, hard to say, Cerulege, Delmise, Marshadow. We've got a Frillish, which I was excited about because when was the last time Frillish was printed? I have no idea. Delmise, Spectre, the Golett line, Frostlass, Annihilate, which, I need to pick up the Frostlass illustration is rare as well at some point. And then we've just got a few more here to round things out. Some more Yamasks, a Cerulege EX, and an older Golett holding the boulder, and an older Frostlass as well, which I think that Frostlass is really pretty. So that is everything in the Ghost Binder, and as you can see, it's not got a lot more room, so we may have to start splitting things next year into a second Ghost Binder. Alright, so this one is a new binder that I call my favorites binder. So these are Pokemon that aren't Ghost Pokemon that are just favorites of mine. So they were previously in the Ghost Binder, but got moved out because there's a lot of ghosts, and I have a lot of favorites too. So we start with some doggos. I'm not going to cover the Yamper cards here because I just did a Yamper collection tour video, so be sure to check that out if you're interested in not just these cards, but my entire Yamper collection. And B, I also now have a little mini binder just for my Yampers that they're going to get moved to, since I'm starting to collect these in other languages as well. So they're going to get moved out of here. But next we've got, it is really hard to fit this binder in the frame, but next we've got our Growliths. So we have, this is one of my favorites. I've shown him before, but the Firework reverse holo pattern from the Legends set. This is one of my favorites, and it's got the very classic Ken Sugimori art. I didn't add a whole lot of Growlithe from last time. Let's see, we've got this one, the little one, sitting on the porch, which is cute. Reverse holo too. And then we got this promo that has the fun sparkle border. Going for a little run. I did add my Hisuian Growliths over here, though. I previously didn't have them in here. I think I just didn't have space, probably. Including our newer pickup, the full art Hisuian Growlithe. I love this one. It's so cute. I would really love to get the connecting parent art one day, but for now we'll settle for the cute doggo. And we've got lots more room for more doggos there. So next we've got the Houndour. I guess it sounds wrong. Houndour is how I'm going to say it. Evolution line. So there were some in the, what is this, set? A more recent set. I'm blanking on the name of it. And then they also had a Houndoom in the Halloween set from this past year for 2024. I also picked up this one, which I really like this art for Houndoom. It's like traveling in the pack. It's very like black and white with the excuse me, with the pop of red for the eyes. I just think it's really cool. And then, of course, we've got our little pups down here, and our Japanese Houndoom with Grimsley. So more room for them as well. Then we go into the Rockruff line, which really didn't see much. I didn't really pick up many new Rockruffs from 2023. We did have some in, what is this? Temporal Forces, I believe. So we got the Lycanroc. And the little Rockruff. But I think I already had everything else except for maybe the Halloween Lycanroc here. So definitely need to pick up some more because I love this little guy. Then we've got some more dogs. So on the left here we've got the Fido line. Always fighting the glare. We have the shiny Fido. Or shiny bread. As well as the shiny Darkspawn. They're so cute. I love the pose on this one. It's so cute. And then we've got from Stellar Crown, we've got the little Fido on the table, I guess. This one's a little questionable because is he going to be used as dough? I don't think we want to know. He's cute though. As well as the Darkspawn EX, and I love this one with the pink background. So cute, so smiley. I need to get the special illustration rare as well to go with my little Fido illustration rare. And then on the other side, we've got some more like random doggos. So we've got the Smeargle ones up top, and then the Poochyena line at the bottom. I think I had most of these Poochyenas, but I did get this older one, the Team Aqua's Poochyena, which I just think is neat. And I picked up a few more Smeargle cards, so I really like this Black Star promo Smeargle. He's just having a little think, looking for some inspiration. Very cute. And then we've got this one from Fusion Strike, which is very colorful and fun. Almost looks like he's like painting in the stars or something. So, need to pick up some more Smeargles. And then we go into like foxes. So, I love fox Pokemon too. So we've got the Vulpix Ninetales line on this side. I think maybe the bottom row here might be new compared to last time. From Twilight Masquerade for these two down here. And then these two I think were also more recent. Then we've got Fennekin and the Zorua line on the other side. So I don't have a ton of Fox Pokemon cards. I really like Ninetales if you can't tell. But I did get this adorable Zorua card. This was one of my chase cards. I love this art. It's just this little sleepy little guy. It's very cute. So I'm glad I was able to find this. And then we've got the little shiny fella here as well. Which I love the shiny colors. They're so cute. And our lone little Fennekin. Gotta pick up some more Fennekin cards. Then we have the Shinx line. So I did get this little diamond and pearl stamped one. I'm not a big fan of this style of Pokemon card where it's just like the concept art put over a weird background that doesn't make any sense. But at least Shinx is cute, and it was cool to see the diamond and pearl stamp, so I'll allow him. We've also got the one showing off his butt here. And then we've got this really cool Luxray EX that we pulled. I believe this was from Twilight Masquerade as well, which I think we just opened a lot of Twilight Masquerade. But this one is really cool. I love the line direction. It makes it feel very dynamic. And the colors go really well together. Very cool. Alright, next we are going into bird Pokemon. So this section is dedicated to Piplup here. So compared to last time, I think I had most of these Piplups up top. So I had like Dawn's Piplup. And then we've got a new Prinplup because I said last time I only have one Prinplup and no Empoleon. So we did fix that. So we've got this little guy wandering in the forest, which is really cute. And we got two Empoleons. So we got an Empoleon V. And just the level 42 one down there. A new Piplup running on the beach. And then one going for a swim, which I hadn't seen this before with the berry on it. I think that's really interesting. The little Pecha Berry, I guess, ability. I'm not sure exactly how you would categorize that, but a neat little one. But probably my favorite one that I picked up was this guy over here. You can't see very well from the glare, but this was a Japanese only release for Project Pachima or Project Piplup. So this was a really cool find. I found this at the LA Pokemon Regional, and I had to get it because it's just so cool, and I love that it has the Project Pachima stamp, and he looks like he's ready to get some fish, so I think this is really cute. And then we go some more penguins. We've got ice cues over here. So I have all of the ice cues, I think, except for one. So I would love to get the last one that I'm missing. But I did get the little shiny ice cue, which I love that he's got a pink head. Super cute. I think we had a lot of these last time. I'm trying to remember. We have the Japanese Terra type, the fire Terra type one here. And then we also have right next to it in English, but it also is from the holiday calendar, so it's got the little snowflake stamp. So I always think it's cool when I get to add one of these to like my favorites binders or something. And then we've got our little Ice QV down here going in for the headbutt. So some fun penguins. And then I started over here to start to put together some of my Psyducks. So I love Psyduck. I actually sell a sticker of Psyduck, but I don't have too many of them pulled out right now. I gotta go through some bulk and start putting them in there. Because I was giving away a bunch of Psyduck cards with my sticker orders, but I need to keep some for myself too. Then over here we've got Rowlet, so another favorite. We added some of the shiny cards this time, so we've got the little Angry Burb. And then the very, like, snuggly Burb. They're complete opposites. It's very funny. And then there's the shiny Dartrix, which is hilarious. Like, look at that pose, look at that face, like, I just think it's really funny. I do not have the shiny Decidueye yet, so I'll have to get that at some point. And then they actually did release some more Rowlets. So we've got the one in the tree, which I love this art. This is like peak Rowlet, or should I say beak Rowlet. Alright, I'll see myself to the next page. Alright, Corviknight, the Rookidee line. So this is really almost exactly the same. The only thing I added was the VMAX Corviknight, which I love. It's the taxi one. Very funny. Imagine seeing, like, going to call a taxi and this is your ride. Like, yeah, let's do it. Good way to intimidate wherever you're going. And then of course we've got the same from last time. We've got the Corviknight V and the Rookidee illustration rare. The glare is making it so hard to see. So need to get some more of them as well. And then we go into our random collection of birds. Get in your space, please. So I'll just kind of go through these quickly and then call out some highlights. So we've got the shiny Wingull line. I love those guys. We've got the Fletchinder, Talonflame. Need more Toucanon cards. I've got this Wingull here at the bottom that I just love. He's just kind of vibing. It's cute. And then on the other side, we've got Starly, Murkrow, Flamigo, Chatot, more Flamigos. I'm gonna take two out because these two are really cool. We'll start with the Chatot. So I love this illustration rare. So they're actually marking music notes, which is really cool. How they're sitting on the line. So I just think that having that little extra hidden feature really makes it even cooler to have this card. And then we got this gorgeous Flamigo. This card is so good. I really like this one. It is so cute. So vibrant too. And a few more birds to round things out. So we've got the Ducklet, a Cramorant, Farfetch'd, a Talonflame V, some more Talonflame. I need to kind of organize this area a little better. And another Cramorant, and let me pull this Cramorant out because he has a hidden secret here. So I love this art first off. It's like very funny. Like they're playing with water guns around him. But there's also a little hidden cameo in here. I don't know how well you could see it, but right here. That little face there, that's a Yamper. So he could technically go in the Yamper binder. Just saying. Then we go into Ditto's. Ditto, another favorite Pokemon. So, I'm trying to think of what I didn't have previously. We'll kind of go through a quick... We've got our shiny Dittos, our Nummel Ditto, our 151 Dittos. We've got the Fossil Ditto, which I love this in its simplicity. It's like very 90s, and I love that for this Ditto. Which also, I just remembered, I actually re-sleeved my Dittos, so they were actually not in perfect fits like most of my other stuff. They're actually in Ditto sleeves, so fun little thing for these guys. I need to get some more to continue to build the Ditto army. And then we've got Koga's Ditto here, which this is like ultimate blob card. I love it. And then this one was a more recent pickup. This is another good blob. This is another Miki Tanaka artwork, and I just really like this. I love this little blob. Pink, blue, purple, whichever one. And I think that artwork was in Pocket as well. And then we go to the apples. So this section is already full. Yeah, I already need to expand a bit. But we've got, I think this is all new compared to last time. So I'm gonna not go pull out everything, but just to kind of give you a closer look here, we've got some great applins, some diplins. And at the bottom we have some of the V cards. So we've got Appleton V, Flapple V, the Flapple VMAX. Very mad they didn't do an Appleton VMAX, at least that I've seen. Hydrapple EX. And then on the other side, we've got more Appletons. We got some illustration rares for these guys, which I love. We've got this beautiful Hydrapple EX. More apples. More apples. So I really love the Applin line, if that's not obvious. I'm gonna pull out a couple just to show, like, highlight. I'll pull this one out. This is a fun one because it's got a swirl, if I can get it to show up on the camera. There it is. Okay, I had to get like just the right angle. So he's got a little swirl there, and we love a little swirl. And then let's see, we've got, I think I've already shown the Applin full art. I really love the Diplin, like trying to help with the candy apple booth. This is just so funny. He's like the happiest little guy. Look at that face. He's so happy. Appleton is one of my favorites. I do prefer Appleton over Flapple, but I do love all of them. And I just think this one is so cute. I'm so glad we finally got an illustration rare for Appleton. Because now Flapple has had two, so, you know. But probably my favorite of all of these is the Hydrapple EX. I love this art style. This really makes me think of, like, I'm trying to think, in one of the Pokemon movies, there was, like, depictions of the legendary birds in, like, Arcanine, and it makes me kind of think of that. I just think it's super neat. I am so happy I was able to get this. And in case it wasn't clear that I loved Appleton, we've got the desk mat. Alright, next. Oh, we've got the one lone little flapple over here too, to continue out the section. Yeah, I'll have to double check. I might have all of them now. I'll double check. Then we kind of just go into some random stuff. This is kind of an area I'm still fleshing out. So we have got a Fusion Strike Pyukumuku, because I love Pyukumuku. And then we've got the start of a little Zubat area. So we've got the German Zubat from one of the Rocket sets. I'll have to look up which one. Need to add some more Zubats over here. And then we go to Pikachu. So this is actually like the end of the binder for Pikachu, because I'm not really a huge Pikachu fan. Like, prefer the older Chonkachu. But we do have to have a dedicated space for the mascot, because there are some pretty good cards. I especially love this one from the Celebration set. And we got some fun ones down there too. So I do try to pull them out if I find them, but not like a big Pikachu collector, so it's just more of like, if there's a fun illustration, I'll pick it up, or if I pull one, I'll add it here. Alright, this is the vintage binder. So I've talked about it before, but long-term goal is to have a complete base set, jungle, and fossil. And this binder's still fairly empty. I did actually recently just pick up a ton of kind of like the more commons and uncommons that I'll need to add in here, but that's technically 2025, so don't get ahead of ourselves. But I did finally get some cards for the first page here, so this in my 2023 video was severely lacking, so we've now got the Chansey, Clefairy, and the Hitmonchan to start the binder off. And I think a lot of these are my childhood cards that I've managed to still keep around. I did have a lot of cards stolen as a kid, so I don't actually have a ton, and many of the ones I do have are actually like damaged or marked. So slowly rebuilding the collection with like this Mewtwo. Whenever I do see one that's not at a ridiculous price, that is one that is marked or damaged, I will try to replace it. But it's kind of lower priority. I'd like to try to get more of this filled up where possible. Because this is, since 151's nostalgic, obviously base, jungle, and fossil are super nostalgic to me. So we've got the addition of our little Porygon friend here, the cool Porygon. Well, that's a different card, but he does look pretty cool here. We've got a few more things here. One area that I wanted to call out is that I don't collect specifically between shadowless or just like standard. But if I do find a good one, so I had a childhood Charmander that was not shadowless and it was in not great condition and marked, so I did replace that one with this one, and it was a cool pickup. So it's more of just trying to get like what I can. These cards can be kind of hard to come by in like great condition, so some of them aren't in the best condition. Not this Magnemite. I just wanted to show him because I like Magnemite, and I think this is a really fun card. Then we kind of come into more of the trainer cards. I've picked up a lot more of these this year, so need to fill in all these gaps. And then we go into jungle. So I did pick up a few new jungle cards. We've got this Flareon, which I love the colors in the background on this. I really like this, like, the pose here. It's very fun. Then we got Mr. Mime down here. I'm not his biggest fan, but I think the background's fun. So we got a little bit more going here compared to last time. I do want to show this Butterfree because I just love this Butterfree so much. It makes me think of Ash's Butterfree in the anime for some reason. It was cool to be able to find a first edition one too. So always nice to get some first editions to add to the vintage collection. I think all of this was I had previously as well. I talked about last time about my weird Spanish Weeping Bell that I don't know. I had this from my childhood collection. No idea where it came from because I lived in the Midwest and had no clue how this came into my possession, but he's seen better days. Seen some better days. Pretty beat up, but very funny. Funny card. It's a fun talking point when I go through it. And then we come to the end of Jungle and go into Fossil. So I did pick up, I have a couple copies of this guy because I really like this art, but I wanted one for my Ditto binder as well, or Ditto section in my favorites binder. But of course he's gotta go in vintage. And a lot of blank spaces still we gotta fill out for Fossil, especially those hollows. Golbat up there. So from here, some other more recent pickups are the first edition Slowpoke. Which has, I don't know if you could see it, but the misspelled illustrator's name, Miki Takano, is not correct. And then we've got our Psyduck as well, which I really like this art. I like Psyduck. He just looks very confused at his own reflection, and I feel that. And then I got a couple more slots here for other jungle, or excuse me, fossil trainer cards. So then we kind of get into other stuff because that's the end of those three sets. So I have some random Japanese over here. I've talked about this before, but this is not a real card. Though my childhood self tried to convince people it was, and that Japanese cards were just different. But this is actually a sticker. And then there's that childhood Charmander I mentioned before. And then we go into our Black Star promos. So I've shared some of these before. The top one's up there. I've also picked up this Entei with this really fun reverse hollow pattern. As well as this Mew, the classic. And I've already talked about it in previous videos, but I always like to point it out because I think it's cool. The Dark Arbok here with the Wizards of the Coast stamp right there. I just think it's a neat little one. And then I also picked up this Magnemite because, like I said before, I like Magnemite, and I love this art. It is so simple and so Magnemite. So I don't really go out of my way to collect like from the Rocket series, but I mean maybe I will eventually. We'll see. Maybe we'll finish base, jungle, and fossil first, and then go through there. And then the last tier is just some base set 2 cards. I'm not really like interested in going out of my way to collect base set 2, but this is all stuff I had from my childhood collection. So hopefully a lot more, well, there is a lot more stuff to fill up this binder for 2025 already, and hopefully I can pick up some more holos too. This is another new binder. This I'm kind of calling my like artist collection. Most of it is taken up by one artist, and then I have a couple others in the back. But I also did something different with this one. Because I know exactly what I'm looking to collect, I actually went and got labeled every card that I need to be looking for. So this will be a slow project because some of these cards can be pretty hard to find. But this is my Yukimori collection, so the clay artist. So now there is a dedicated place because I love her work so much that I just needed to have a binder mostly just for that. Now, this likely will eventually only be her work, but because it doesn't fill the entire binder yet, right now, there's 2 other artists in the back that I'll get to as well. But you can see there's a lot of stuff that I'm missing here, so I'm gonna kind of go through and highlight the ones that I do have, but a lot of the older stuff I am still missing. I love this Goldeen. So it might look full, but most of this is actually just placeholders while I get through. So you can see all of this here is still blank. I do try to fill this out, that way it's easy to place things. So when I do find something, for example, if I get this Squirtle, I know exactly where it should go in here and I don't have to worry about like rearranging things or anything like that. Because most of this is all starting from like oldest first. So still missing a lot of stuff here, obviously. Did pick up some fun older cards. They're not in the best condition, but we take what we can get. So we got this really funny little Grimer from the e-reader series. As well as this Trapinch. He is so funny. I already like Trapinch. I think it's like the chompiness in the eye for me, but I adore this art where he's just like sitting. I wouldn't expect him to sit this way, so it's perfect. We got the Numel as well. Now, putting together what I wanted to get, I'm not going out of my way to try to get a complete, like, master set of everything, where it's like, oh, if there's a reverse holo, I'll get that. Like I said, some of these can be pretty hard to find because they are commons and they're older. So it can be tricky to find something. So I try not to be, like, too picky. If I can find a reverse holo, sure, I'll take it, but I try to look for this kind of stuff in person when I can. It can be hard to come across because, like I said, older stuff, and a popular artist to collect. We've got some more over here. So we've got our Chikorita. From Delta Species. And Ekans as well. Very cute little one. So it's really exciting when I get to fill a spot and take out the placeholder. Over on this side, we've got our Bidoof. The lovely, very close-up Bidoof. More missing stuff, of course. I did pick up these. Some of these can be tricky to find. I did debate whether to even include this in this binder because it's the same art for this Skitty. I don't know how well you could read it up here, but there's a problem with Yampers for this too, where sometimes they include it in like these trainer kits or like specific deck builds, and they get a different number even though it's the same art. So I did manage to track these two down, which is why those are in there, but there might be others that I was kind of like, well, if I can't find like a TCG player listing for it, I mean, it's probably going to be too difficult, so take my wins where I can get them. Over here we got our Torchic, and this was actually sent to me from something I ordered. I forget what it was, but I was very excited because this was like very early when I started getting back into collecting, so it was like a Torchic and it's clay. Now he has his designated place, and then we start getting a little bit more modern over here. We've got this funny little cast form. I really like the way the orbs look on this one. It's very cute. Well, I guess cute wasn't the word I was looking for, but I say everything's cute, so running out of words, I guess. We've got our Woobat. And the Pumpkaboo. I did make sure to put the stamped version for the Halloween set in here. So if I can find the stamped version, I'll prioritize that, but like I said, it'd be cool to just get one of every art, and that's good enough for me. Now you can see we're getting a lot more populated here. So we've got our holiday calendars stamped Snom. We've got our Tynamo. Since we're getting a lot more, I'll kind of just bring them up because these are more common to find now. Sandshrew, Seedot, and Litwick down there. I love that Litwick. And if we come up here to the top, we've got Ducklet, Machop, and Murkrow, Baltoy, Poniard, and Drapion V, which is really cool to see the full art version. We got Starly and Pincurchin down there. And I'm gonna pull this one out because I just think it's cool. So we've got our Drapion V here. I like this card so much. I love that it has the Skorupi, I think that's what they're called, the little guys, as well. And it's got, you know, the whole scene rather than just the close-up. So very cool, because these are actually like clay figures made in real life, if you didn't know, and are photographed. So it's not like a 3D model on a computer screen or something. And I think that's why I'm drawn to them so much, because it's like the artistry of having to make something by hand. I don't know why I pulled out Starly, but here's Starly. So there's still a few here and there I'm missing for more modern stuff. And then, oh, I don't actually know what goes there. I wonder if it's in a deck or something, and that's why that's blank. I will have to look that up. But we've got some more filled out pages here. So we've got Larvesta and the Clefairy, the Lillipup, and the Magnemite line from 151, the Octillery, and the Toxel and Apom, which I'll pull those two out in a minute. They're a little fun. Then we've got the Paris. This is actually from the classic, like Pokemon Classic, or Pokemon TCG Classic, I guess. So it was cool to see that in there. The Minccino and the Froakie, Choodle, Meltan, and Applin. And I think those are, yeah, that's the last of the Yukimori collection. Some more have come out, so I need to start adding them in here, but let me highlight these two over here. So I've talked about this before. If you saw me opening this set, my video on that, then you'll already know, but this is actually interesting because you see, like here we've got rounded corner, but this side is just straight edges. It didn't get the corner rounding. So I just think that's pretty fun. Not like a huge error, pretty minor, but a really cool, like unique way of collecting this one. And then, of course, we got another full art, so we'll highlight our friend Apom here. I just think this is a super cute card, and again, anything that's like the full art version, it's extra cool because you get a little bit more of that scenery. So that is everything in my Yukimori collection in 2024. I have admittedly already gotten some more things this year that will need to get added here, so keep an eye out. I'll share some more of that later. Let me know if you want to see like a more Yukimori highlighting. I'd be cool with making some more videos on that. And then we have some blank space here to fill out for later. And we get into a different artist here. So this artist does these gorgeous little crochet pieces, another handmade one. So we've got Pukumuku here, which I love Pukumuku anyway. This artist is Asako Ito. So I am also looking at collecting more of her work as well. So super cute. I really love the handmade element of some of these. I think that's what draws me to both of these artists. And you can see this artist is a little bit more recent, so there's not quite as much like depth to go back towards. But there's still quite a few that I need to look out for. We've got the Electrode. This was actually featured in Pocket as well. So it started to get more people excited about this artist, which is super cool. Because definitely needs more recognition. So you can see very much like briefer collection here, but I'm hoping to get more of this filled out because I think it'll be a little bit easier to find. We'll highlight some more of these. We've got another Trapinch, which I love the simplicity of the background on this. I think it's really fun and adds to the art style there. This is one of my favorites of hers, which is the Zubat crochet one with the little Halloween stamp, of course. And I'm just going to feature all of these because it's a pretty small collection. So we've got the Grubbin. He's just a little guy. Again, we've got the like very cardboard cutout style background, which I like. I like the like sort of juxtaposition with the crochet piece. We've got our Blip Bug. It's a fun one too. Not a big fan of bug Pokemon, but I will say they are extra cute when they are made into crochet. We've got Esper. Not a single thought in that head. I love this Swirlix one. It's got a few other like crochet elements within the art as well. It's so hard to get the camera to focus that close up. Then we've got the Snorlax here. Very cute. And the first, at least that I know of, full art ones, we've got this Altaria, which is so cool, sitting in the room. This has a lot of like different crochet and handmade elements in this scene. If you can find this card, I definitely recommend taking a close look at it because it's just gorgeous. Then we've got C-Dot here. Sitting on a little pile of leaves. They look like almost like felt. And then the little ones in the background hanging from the tree still. And then last here is our Sandygast. Which, this one is also super cute. And it seems like it would be a really challenging one to make with the hole for its mouth. I don't know. I don't know much about crochet personally, but it looks impressive to have to make that. And then we got some more empty space, and then at the very back here, we have some space for a third artist here, which you can see I only have 3 cards. I believe there is a 4th. This is a much more recent artist. But we've got this Sunflora here. I really like this style. This is by Aonishi. I really like something about the like background is what initially drew me to this. But it also reminds me a lot of papercraft, and that's something I have a lot of experience in. So it's definitely kind of hits a little close to home kind of feeling with this style, and I really like it. So I'm excited to see what other pieces this artist gets to do in the future, and I hope to continue to grow their collection as well. And we got this adorable Drillbur to cap it off. So yeah, that is my artist collection binder. Hope to continue adding to it in the future. So this is gonna be the quickest thing that we looked through today. This is my food binder, but this is very new. I only started moving things into this binder at the end of 2024, so there's literally 2 not even full pages to look at here. So the whole point of this binder is to be dedicated to cards showing food of some kind. So I do still need to go through my bulk and pick out some things, and some of this y'all have seen before, but I did want to highlight a couple of them. So we've got my favorite Morpeko art in just the slew of sweets here. This is so fun. It's just me. And then we've got Jasmine's Gaze with the sandwich. This one is really fun as well, a more recent pickup. Of course, we've got Arvin and Mabistiff making a little sandwich for the picnic. We've got Melanie flipping some pancakes. Mightyena with the delicious looking food. And I don't think I've shown these 2 yet, but this is Lickitung with the snow cones. And Vanillish at the ice cream stand, which is questionable, but it's still fun, and I really like this art style. And we've got just this other little section here. So we've got this one, which was previously in my like full art binder with the other supporter cards. So now it's got moved over here along with, oh, you can barely see that one, the Knackley. And then these 2 are more recent. So we've got Drayton picking out some snacks at the grocery aisle here. And Crispin frying up something. And this card is actually pretty relevant in a couple decks right now. So we do have another one, but we'll try to keep him in here. We'll see. He might need to go into a deck at some point, though. So that's all that's in here right now. There's a ton of cards that feature food, though. So I really need to start going through bulk and maybe pulling some others out of some of my other binders. It's always a tough decision with which binder something should live in, but that's all that's in here for now. So that was a quick one, but hopefully next time there will be a ton more food cards featured in here. Next up is the only set that I'm looking to complete, and that is 151. It's very nostalgic for me, and I love all the art. I'm not going to spend too much time like talking through this one because I've opened most of this on previous videos on my channel, and also there aren't a whole lot of additions compared to the 2023 recap video, but we did get our Venusaur up here, so we now have the first page finally complete. And then we'll just kind of flip through and I'll call out kind of the ones that I know were picked up since my last video. Did get this Kangaskhan EX since my last one. With the little baby. I am still missing that Flareon. Really just need to go get it at some point because it's so silly. And I do have the Mew EX that goes here. It's just in a deck right now. Did get a few more of the illustration rares, so we've got the Nidoking and the Tangela, as well as the Dragonair, which is one of my favorites. The Dragonair is so pretty. I'm gonna pull out this one because I just love it. It's such a gorgeous art. And then we got a few more of the full arts down here. And then picked up the 2 Erica's Invitations. And we finally got our gold Mew EX as well. That is not the metal one. So there's not actually a lot left to get, but it's a bit slow progress because a lot of them are a bit more expensive. Because it's like the big Charizard, you know, all of that. And then the rest of the binder is the same as before, I believe. So we've got our promos over here on the left, as well as Japanese pulls that I've gotten that I already have English versions of. Yeah, not much left to get. Hopefully next time we can say that this set is complete. And for the last category, I like to just call this random. This is kind of like random stuff that's not really on theme necessarily, but I like the art, so it's kind of got a place. I'm not going to go into this whole binder because not much has changed from the 2023 video, but I did want to showcase this one. So this is just a little binder that I got as like a prize from the LA Regional in 2024. And I call this my They're Just Funny Little Guys binder, but I've already run out of space, so it needs a little bit more for these funny little guys. So we've got some Smoliv cards, a Toxel, and I don't like to put double these up because this is kind of like a very small binder. But we've got some Snom, some Snorunt, more Peko, Tatsugiri, and again, these are just like ones that embody they're just little guys. The belly bolts, Corfish, there's not a thought in either of those heads. I love this Impidimp scaring, the Substitute doll, the Slugma just vibing. The Pseudo-Wudo is super fun. And the Magnemite makes me think of Wally. This Trapinch from Power Keeper is really interesting. I like how much it stands out against the background. And then we've got this Crustle as well. Another Pukumuku, very much just a little guy, and I feel like this Shellos is like a perfect depiction of just a little guy. Then we got Meowth and Axew, Zubat and Absol, which I think these were arguably, I was just trying to look for a place for them, but Joltik is just a funny little guy. And that's all that's in here right now. It's not like the best binder, so I try not to put too much in here, but maybe this will eventually get moved to its own full binder. And then this one here is what was in the random section in my 2023 video. Like I said, it's mostly the same, so I'm not going to go over a lot here, but I did want to highlight a couple areas. So this first page didn't have a ton yet. This is a big connecting artwork. At this point, I was only missing the Pikachu, which I actually recently got, so I can finally finish this one, and it will be the complete illustration. But we love a good connecting artwork. And that's what these first couple pages are. So then these two pages are more connecting artworks, so it's a little hard to show. But, so everything on the left page here all connects together. You can kind of see it a little bit like with where the beach lines up and everything. And then on the right, this is more recent. This all connects together as well. So I'm missing a few of these still. So hopefully finish this one off in 2025. And then everything else from here is the same as last year. I get, this is from the 2023 holiday collection, I guess you call it? Holiday calendar, there we go. So we did do the 2024 one, but there's not really space here, so I haven't put them in here yet. But this is a lot of like older collection stuff from my childhood that I just like the art of, or I just wanted to have a place to put it. So a lot of this is just needing some kind of sorting system. I really need to go through it, but if you do want to see a flip through of everything else in this binder, check out my 2023 video. I believe I go through the rest of this in there, but nothing else has changed there. Alright, so that is everything in my Pokemon card collection at the end of 2024. I would love to hear what y'all thought. Do you have any favorite cards or anything you think I should be on the lookout to add to my collection this year? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, if you haven't already, go ahead and like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And catch me on social media. I do post more of my collection as I come into new cards. I've already got a bunch of cards I've picked up at the beginning of this year that will be making their way into these binders now that I've filmed this video. That is going to be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I know this was a long one, but hopefully you saw some cool art and some cool cards, because that's why I like to share these. So, alright, catch y'all in the next one. Bye-bye!